Hey everyone, welcome to a new section of the course. This is the third section and we're going to talk about masks. The masks are a very important matter here on After Effects because we're going to be using them a lot in this course and through any project that we are going to have later on. You will have many projects on After Effects and you're probably going to be using a lot of this tool, this amazing tool. If you have used Photoshop before, you probably are familiar with how the mask works, but I'm going to explain it anyway. I'm going to take an image and I'm going to right click on the composition and hit transform and fit to comp. When I do that, the image will fit to the composition size. So if I want to create a mask, I have to select the layer that I want to create a mask on, and I have to select the shape tool. Any shape, it can be a rectangle, a rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, or a star. I'm going to take the rectangle tool right now, and with the layer selected, I'm going to draw a rectangle here. Now let me explain what happened here. First, you can see that now on the layer, on the properties, I can see now a mask property with many options here: mask path, mask feather, opacity, expansion, and everything. Obviously, when this appears here, it means that this layer has a mask. And what is a mask exactly? A mask is a shape, is a path or an outline that is used to modify some layer effect. For example, think of it as, for example, if we have an image, a picture, take a picture, a printed picture, and you put on top of this picture, you put a white paper. And on that white paper, you cut a hole with a rectangle shape. Of course, you are going to see only the part of the image that is inside this hole, the hole on the paper, and everything else will be covered with the white paper. So that's the same principle applies here. You can see that I created a mask and I cut a hole with the rectangle shape. Of course, this mask can be anything, doesn't have to be a rectangle, it can be a star, for example. And all I'm going to see is what is on the shape of the star, what is in this star shaped hole that I created with this shape tool. Of course, this doesn't mean that we can only use the shape tool. We can use the pen tool also. I can create the pen tool and create any shape that I want. Let's create a random path, and you can see that now it has become a mask. Of course, you have to be selecting the layer, the image layer, because otherwise you're going to be creating just a simple shape layer. So you have to select the layer that you want to apply the mask on. And this doesn't have to be only on image. Let's take our video that we used before and let's create a mask on it. I'm going to create a mask by selecting the layer and creating a shape. And now if I hit play, you can see that I can see only the part that is through this shape, this hole with the star shape. Everything else is white. And the good thing is that you can maybe create some other layer. I don't know. Let's write something here. Make it black. And you can see that I created another layer and the video doesn't interfere with this layer. So it's really looking very nice. And also you can have as many masks as you want. If you hit the mask here and create another shape and another one here, you can create as many as you want, and all of them will become masks. It's like if we have the white paper and cut many shapes, many star-shaped holes. Now let's go back with the image that we had, and I'm going to create again the mask, and I want to talk about the properties of the mask. You can see that if we open the mask properties, we have the mask path, mask feather, mask opacity, and mask expansion. The mask feather is just to diffuse some of the edges. If we increase this, you can see that the edges are not sharp anymore, but they are blurry, and you can play with that. Let's leave it on 0. You can play with the opacity, can change the opacity. Of course, if you had it on 0, you will see nothing. You can play with the mask expansion. You can see how the edges expand. Or contract. And finally, you have the mask path, which is very important because this is the shape of the path. You can see that when we click right here, we can see all the path, and we can change this. Maybe change this top, make it smaller, and if I hit play, you can see that it increases, it changes the size. Now you probably realize that all these properties has a stopwatch. That means one thing, that they can be animated, but we will talk about that later on this section. Another cool thing of this mask is that you don't have to use only the shapes that are here on After Effects. You can also use the vector from Illustrator. For example, if you open Illustrator and create a star, let's create an object like this. Doesn't matter the color, you just need the path. And now you press Ctrl C and go to After Effects, and with the layer selected, press Ctrl V. This will create a mask with the shape that we brought from Illustrator. So this is a pretty cool thing to do. Let's make this bigger. Alright, so this brings a lot of options that we can use it for, because we can create wonderful things on Illustrator. Maybe we have a logo, or maybe we have a wonderful path that we liked, a pattern or something that we created on Illustrator. Remember that Illustrator is the proper software for creating vector files, and if we have a very nice vector file, a very nice path, we can bring it here to After Effects and create a mask with it. So that's a pretty cool thing to have. Now, what if I want to change the size of this mask, or move the mask? It doesn't have to be right here in the middle. To do that, just click on the mask and you will see the path. This time is pink, and you can see that this arrow, the cursor is white, but when you hit some of the edges of the mask, it turns black. When it's black, that means that you are selecting the mask. So if you grab it and place it on another part, it will change the position. And if you want to scale it, just double click and you will have this bounding box, this transform box, and you can change the size however you want. Maybe you want this to be like this, and press enter, and that's it. So that's all there is to the mask. Now on the next lessons we're going to talk about another kinds of mask and how to animate these properties that we're going to be using them a lot when we come to the exercises. So let's go to the next lesson.